and the Panthers rolled. The identity was a running game, and he rode that to the Super Bowl. In that game, calm and cool as always. He said it's been year 2 that he's really taken his lumps. He's played with a broken thumb. He's lost a lot of his weapons, but through it all, the demeanor never changes. Nothing seems to faze the guy.
And Susie, if he had to prove anything, he proved he could play at this level, and last year was no fluke. Delhomme throws a strike to Muhammad. Good job to stay up. Lost the ball, and who's there to get it? Nick Goings.
I tell you, it truly is amazing to look at a wide receiver, Moreeeee Muhammad, get open. And you know they've got 2 guys on him, and sometimes 3, and he still gets in a position. Take a look at it here. There he is working on the corner. He makes the play, trying to get a few extra yards, and they rip the ball out, but Nick Goings is there.
We have reached the 2-minute warning in Atlanta. It's a good one, a 3-point ball game. Coming up at the half, Chris Berman will be here with the Kia halftime show. The Battle of the Rookies, Peyton's Place, and guess what's going on with Rick and Jarris? Coming up on the Kia halftime show.
You know, this is one of those football teams that it's 3rd and long, but they're not necessarily going to throw the ball.
Kroll in motion, 3 wide receivers. Delhomme with time, and Muhammad again. Moreeeee Muhammad breaking tackles as they go for the ball, and he's down to the 31-yard line. He came in number 7 in the NFL in yards, already has 73 yards on 6 catches tonight.
D'Angelo Hall is a rookie in the National Football League, and he tries to strip this ball away from Moreeeee Muhammad. There you see, now he's grabbing the ball. He's going to find out it's not like it was in college. You better tackle the big guy, or else he's not going to the ground. You only start ripping it away when other people have got a hold of it.
Did you see him catch the ball with both hands, Joe? And they just hold on to it with both hands. They didn't even try to tuck it away.
Always been a nice blend of size and speed, and having a huge year here. Kroll went down. They say no contact, and it's just an incomplete pass.
Moreeeee Muhammad said, you know, it's a different game when you know you're the guy. You're the one that can make the play. Look at how he comes out of his routes. There's no hesitation for a big guy. He doesn't drop down and give away his routes against D'Angelo Hall. Puts the ball away. Now for the touchdown. Quick, sudden stops. From a quarterback's perspective, when you get a wide receiver that makes those kind of decisive moves, it's a dream to be able to throw to him.
He was wearing a gold suit at our meeting yesterday. I thought Paul was going to buy it from him right there. Delhomme turns near side. Muhammad, great hands, held on.
I'm going to tell you what, you have how great this catch is. You talk about total concentration on the ball, and a guy that looks the ball in wasn't looking at the defender coming up. He just had total concentration on the ball. Watch this catch. This is beautiful. Bang, he's up in the air. Now he makes sure he has the ball. Make sure he has the ball. Look at him concentrate on the football. Forget about Rossum. He doesn't even care about him.
Well, here's the thing. Allen Rossum is 5'8". Moreeeee Muhammad is 6'3". And you know he's going to be able to go up and get it away from him.
Pretty good matchup, especially if you're on the Carolina side. Delhomme again. He's been on fire here in the second quarter for the end zone. Mangum had it tipped. Nice defense that time by D'Angelo Hall, and Mangum couldn't pull it in.
He almost made a knee job, a knee catcher.
He tried to catch it. Mangum tried to catch it with his legs. I mean, you talk about these guys fighting. They're missing a whole lot of people, but every time that ball's in the air, watch this. Now try to catch. Ooh, he almost batted it in his legs.
Good job by the rookie corner to get a piece of that one. They need to reach the 10 for a first down, and Demario Williams makes the tackle just shy of that.
I look at the savvy of Jake Delhomme. I like to watch a quarterback manage a 2-minute drill or manage a game. What you see him doing is you see him being able to get up to the line of scrimmage, get in and out of the huddle real quick. Sometimes he goes quick count, sometimes he doesn't. It's just the way he handles the game. He's right at the referee with the timeout. Everything he's doing is giving his team a chance to be able to move the ball, but yet save time, really.
We speculated earlier that it might be a surprise that Atlanta was where they are. Be honest about it. When Carolina was 1-7, I mean, is there any way anybody rationally could say, hey, they still have a shot?
But you got to think about what they did. In those 5 victories, the defense took the ball away 22 times. Now, there was a missed field goal down here. That was just like taking the ball away.
Right.
They didn't allow them to score. The score is now 10-7. They're gonna have a chance to tie this game or go ahead before the half.
It was almost like that beginning of the season became a training camp for a whole new set of guys, and allowed Moreeeee Muhammad to become the star again.
Interesting play call here. What do you do on 3rd and 1? Goings dives inside the 10. That should be 1st and goal, and John Fox wants a timeout. Well, they really trust that running game.
Yeah, they do. And the one thing that you really like about it is that they're very patient about what they're doing. They're not getting all excited. And the most amazing part about this whole thing, they're only throwing the ball to one guy.
And the one guy's done a good job catching it.
Tomorrow night, ESPN's double coverage weekend of NFL action continues at 8:30. The Colts' Peyton Manning will go for Dan Marino's single-season record of 48 touchdown passes. The only thing standing in the way, that Raven defense and Ray Lewis. That's all. Coverage starts with NFL primetime at 7:30 Eastern. It is a record that a lot of people thought would never be touched, and certainly Peyton wants it, although he has deflected all sorts of praise. He doesn't want the attention on him, and Ray Lewis doesn't want that record broken against Baltimore.
Well, he also Indianapolis, what people forget about is that they have the leading rusher in the National Football League.
We talked to both Peyton and Ray yesterday. Ray wants to play the game right now, and Peyton is as cool and calm as collected as he's always been.
Delhomme on 1st and goal. Goings, nice catch.
Let me just say one other thing about Ray Lewis, and you know, we love this guy. I mean, and the guy's a great player, probably the best linebacker in all of football. But Ray Lewis said to us yesterday, which we thought was funny, hey, you know, Peyton Manning, chance to, break the record and everything. He said, man, I'm dressing up for this party. I'm going to be dressed.
I'll tell you, Nick Goings is dressed up for this party.
Isn't he?
He's caught the football very well. He's run the ball very well. Now all of a sudden you add Julius Peppers to this huddle. It's 2nd down. Split him out wide. Throw him the football.
Two sports star at North Carolina. Peppers will go out to the left. He did this last week. They double-teamed him, and they couldn't throw it to him.
Brian Scott against him this time.
Peppers out of bounds.
And that's actually Jake Delhomme. Jake actually led him out of bounds. Julius goes up and does a nice job.
Tell you what, he was a forward on the basketball team. He could jump out of the gym. And may have even gotten away with a little push off.
Well, he's learning. Brian Scott, you know, you're trying to defend him. And when he goes up in the air, he's way up in the air.
I like the match they put out there. Brian Scott, 6'1", 219, almost 220 pounds. Let him push him around a little bit.
Now 3rd and goal. Delhomme underneath to Hoover, and Hoover can't get any closer than the 4.
That's
and
just,
they'll have to send the field goal team on.
Michael, that's just good defense. They, you know, they took out everything out of the end zone and forced Jake to throw the ball to Hoover.
John Fox wanted the clock to run down, so the Falcons take a timeout.
With the way we saw that last kickoff return by Allen Rossum, you'd certainly want him to get his hands on it at least one more time.
Casey, who has had another outstanding year, always seems to. He's now in his 14th season out of Georgia. Boy, and Peppers is just an exciting athlete.
Wasn't he big? When he sat down and walked into the meeting, I mean, you know, Javon Curse is a similar type of an athlete.
Yes,
unbelievable speed, tremendous length, great hustle. But Julius Peppers looks like he's about 50 pounds bigger. He's just huge.
Look at his arms. I mean, his arms are absolutely huge. How about this? In the first quarter, Carolina had 5 yards of total offense. They have 156 in the second.
It's a chip shot 22-yard try for Casey to tie the game at 10. And that's where we stand with 21 seconds to go in the first half.
Talk about Julius Peppers' athletic ability and really being the only guy who can match Michael Vick on the field when it comes to his athletic ability. Here he is, the first play of the game, tipping the ball away. You see him just get back into coverage and turn. Now look at the speed of running down Michael Vick as he tries to scramble. And then he comes around, puts Vick on the ground and puts pressure on him when he tries to make the throw.
I had one basketball coach in the ACC said if he had concentrated on hoops, he would have at least been an all-conference performer, if not an all-American. He was that good, but he thought his future lie in football. Not a bad decision.
And he's a young man who's driven by what people say. If people say, well, Julius, you know, you don't hustle a lot, you watch him take that challenge on. He's very sensitive to what people say. Now, Algie Crumpler, the tight end for the Falcons, was with him at North Carolina, and he knows him very well.
Well, the one thing about Julius is, that, you know, that everybody talked to him. They didn't think that he should have been drafted where he was drafted. He took offense to that. He said, I've never worked harder in my life to be better at my position than anyone else.
How about John Fox? His first head coaching job with the Carolina Panthers. He's got the second pick in the draft. He doesn't really have a quarterback. What does he do? He takes Julius Peppers.
Yep, and he got a lot of grief for that, and it's turned out beautifully. Rossum is deep, and they will kick it away to him from the 6. Rossum with room. Horse collared as he got to the 37 with 15 seconds to go. A 31-yard return. Let's update the NFC playoff picture for you. The Falcons with that second spot right now at 10-3. And Carolina, of course, with 5 straight wins, have fought their way back into it. They can ill afford to lose. There's too many teams right behind them that are still alive in the NFC, and John Fox knows it.
And Atlanta has 2 timeouts as well as 15 seconds.
3-man rush. Peppers double team, got there just before he threw, and that was nearly picked off by Mike Minter.
Boy, this was all Julius Peppers. I'm telling you what.
That a bit.
Well, and he was double teamed on the play again. There's just, you better put more than 2 on him. I'm telling you right now. Watch him split this double team. He gets there and then he gets to Michael Vick and wraps him.
Forney tries to grab him. He tried to grab him when he went by.
I mean, he beats Weiner inside, and Forney made no pretense whatsoever. He just reached out and grabbed him around the waist, and Peppers still got there.
Here's where you have to be worried about Michael Vick's ability to scramble around.
Fires this one downfield, too high for Peerless Price. and 3 seconds to go in the first half.
There's the most amazing thing about this Atlanta team. Peerless Price, who they got from Buffalo, thought this is going to be the one guy they had to add to this football team to give him that strength downfield and be able to throw the ball. And he's almost non-existent.
Eventually, I think he will. When you look at Peerless Price's numbers, 31 catches coming into this game tonight. 31 catches from Peerless Price.
He has had only one 100-yard receiving game in Atlanta. The last 2 years he played with the Bills, he had 8. But that was as a number 2 receiver, and some guys simply do not make that transition. He played behind Eric Moulds there as the featured guy. Now Vic is just going to unload this one on what should be the last play of the half. Tipped and intercepted by Chris Gamble, the rookie. Michael Vick finishes the half 2 out of 9 for 17 yards. Let's go to Susan.
Coach Julius Peppers is trying to kill your quarterback.
Yeah,
what can you do to get him some
face mask a lot? We're not getting the calls. No, he's something else. How about that athletic play made in the end zone? You just don't see guys that size go up, and he caught the ball. He's just out, but it's going to be one of those barn burners, man. It's just like we said, it's going to be all the way, all to the end. So,
how do you slow Musa Muhammad?
Well, we got to get up and get on him, be more physical with him.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.
The rookie head coach in a 10-10 battle with Carolina. That's our halftime score here in Atlanta. Let's join Chris Berman for the Kia halftime show.
All right, Michael, thank you very much, and a happy holidays to everybody out there. Well, this is kind of a microcosm of Carolina's season, huh? The first quarter, not very good. The second quarter, here they come. 10-10, good game. Speaking of which, Ben Roethlisberger, 11 for 11 as starts. Eli Manning, 0 for 4 in starts. The Giants hadn't won for a month and a half. Pittsburgh hadn't lost since the second game of the season. So when these two met today at the Meadowlands, it was truly a Charles Dickens matchup, as in the best of times and the worst of times. But that's why they play the games. Eli Manning going up against Ben Roethlisberger, guys, good friends. And think about it, Willie Ponder, opening kickoff, and he gave the Steelers something to think about. Troy Polamalu misses him by a hair. 80 years, home games, the Giants, the first opening kickoff they've ever had returned at home. 7-0 G-Man. Eli Manning looked the best that he has. Jeremy Shockey, Giants led 14-7. High-scoring game, nobody thought it would be that. Meanwhile, the Giants defense gave up over 450 yards. Here they gang tackle Roethlisberger, but when they make a good play, unnecessary roughness called on the play. So Roethlisberger had 5 connections of 34 yards or more. This Antoine Randall L touchdown, 17-14 Steelers. But Eli Manning and company played strong. Play action, Marcellus Rivers flows in the end zone, 24-23 the Giants. Roethlisberger fighting back, down with 7 minutes to go by 4. The long pass to Randall L, 316 yards. Roethlisberger, Bettis at 140, scores a touchdown, 33-30. Willie Williams, the last Steeler, he's gone to Seattle. He's come back. The only guy on the roster still from that 95 team that made the Super Bowl. Tom Coughlin's team has lost again, but they played better. Giant fans have a glimpse of what is coming. Meanwhile, the Steelers have won 12 straight. Since the merger, the only other regular teams to win 12 straight or more regular season games. 72 Dolphins, 98 Denver. Patriots last year, 85 Bears, all have won the Super Bowl. We'll see what happens at Pittsburgh. They won 33-30. Redskins, Niners. Bill Walsh and Joe Montana. There's young Steve Young. Joe Gibbs. Well, they've played 23 years. These teams have 8 Super Bowls. This will not be the 9th this year. That's Joe Gibbs this year with the Redskins. Patrick Ramsey, Robert Royal. Skins lead 7-0. But the defense has been the story for the bright side that the Redskins have had. And they intercepted Ken Dorsey 4 times, including this last minute before the half. Antonio Pierce could go all the way. 23-9 lead for the Skins. It ends up a 10-point win. 26-16, Washington wins. San Francisco's won 2 games in overtime against Arizona. They've lost all the rest of them. If they lose to Buffalo and New England, certainly distinct possibilities. They'll tie franchise record set just before Bill Walsh, Eddie DeBartolo and company. They'll tie the team record for the worst records they've ever had. So those were the 2-day games on Saturday.
This halftime show is presented by Kia Motors. Kia, make every mile count.
When we return tomorrow night, of course, can Peyton Manning break the record? Dan Marino touchdown pass in a season. We'll hear a little bit from Peyton. We talk with our Michael Irvin this week.
Welcome back to the Kia Halftime Show with your host, Chris Berman.
Carolina and Atlanta 10-10 at the half. Peyton Manning 46 touchdown passes. The record, Dan Marino 20 years ago 48. We talked about it on the Swami. The amazing thing about Peyton Manning and the Colts, a lot of these touchdown passes in the infrared zone. 22 of his 46, almost half, are 10 yards or less. Can he break the record tomorrow night here on ESPN at 8:30 Eastern Time against a very good Baltimore defense? Well, part of it is talking to Peyton, which Michael Irvin did. You'll see it on Countdown tomorrow morning. And among the things Michael asked him, he said, hey, Peyton, are you surprised at the record pace that you're on?
I am a little bit. If you would have told me after week 1 or in training camp that, you know, here I would be at this point in the season with a chance to do some things that, you know, to break some records, or here we would be as a team having this kind of offensive success, I would have told you that that probably wouldn't be true. It's hard to win a game now. It is. And it's hard to throw a touchdown. And so when you do, sometimes people say, oh, that was easy. It looked easy. It may have looked easy, but it took a lot of hard work to get that particular play accomplished or to get that game won. And I got more respect for the game now than I ever have in my 7 years.
But you say it's harder. No, you say it's harder now than it's ever been, but you're having the most phenomenal year that possibly any quarterback has ever had. How does that happen?
Well, I feel like I've been better every single year that I played, Michael. That's been my goal every year, to get better. And here I am in my 7th year. I really feel like I've used every experience that I've had in the prior 6 years to my advantage. The good situations, the 2-minute drills when you win, the last drive of a game, the tough days when ball's just not going right. Learn from those situations. Try to keep them from happening again.
What have you done this year that's different from last year and the years before?
I'm not sure if it's what I've done. It's really what Reggie Wayne has done. It's what he has shown me and Tom Moore the past 2 years of unbelievable consistency in practice, Michael, in April mini camps, in August training camps.
You, as a motivator of the offense, I got to keep everybody running hard every play. That's how you win.
That's exactly
now, if
right.
everybody's looking to catch 49, they're running hard every play.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it makes your job easier, does it not?
It really does. And that's why I think we're effective, because, as you know, Michael, you watch film, and I'm sure you remember plays being called, and this was probably coming to me, or I ain't getting this ball. This is a pass that's gone to Emmett or Harper. Every play, this isn't my play. And
maybe you don't put as much into that play.
You probably just can't help it. You know, why am I going to run full speed on this takeoff route when they haven't thrown it to me the last 50 times we called it, you know? Because the next play might be mine. I got to have full energy.
Well, we'll have a long interview with Peyton Manning that Michael did. You'll see that on Countdown at 11 in the morning. And the Ravens and Colts. Will it be a record-breaking night? That's our Sunday night game tomorrow night at 8:30 Eastern.
This halftime show is presented by Kia Motors. Kia, make every mile count.
College basketball now. Rick Majerus, who decided Wednesday to take over as head coach at USC beginning in April, has had second thoughts. And on Monday, when he meets USC athletic director Mike Garrett, he wants to resign. Had second thoughts and will remain at ESPN as a college hoop analyst. Yeah, but Jarris, of course, such great success at Utah, had to step aside last year with health reasons, and so now it looks like he's had second thoughts at USC. Meanwhile, some top 20 matchups. College hoop, Kentucky, Louisville. Kentucky trail by 16 at the half. Patrick Sparks get fouled with just seconds to go. 0.6 seconds to go. Take another look, and with Kentucky down 58-57, he's got 3 free throws. Hits the first, hits the second, and at Freedom Hall, hits the third. So Louisville with just a desperation heave. It's no good, and Kentucky wins it 60-58. Tubby Smith's team 7-1. Well, Michael Vick, the touchdown early to Finneran. Carolina's come back 10-10 at the half.
Michael Vick, the NFL's leading rusher as a quarterback, was hot early and led the Atlanta Falcons out quickly. This touchdown tossed to Brian Finneran. But as they have all year, the Carolina Panthers behind Jake Delhomme just kept coming back. And they have tied this game in Atlanta at 10 apiece. I think it says an awful lot about the Carolina Panthers that they could be the only team ever to come back from a 1-7 start and make the playoffs.
Let's remember last year. Last year on their run to the Super Bowl, they won 4 games in overtime. These kind of football games are not uncommon to the Carolina Panthers. They know how to make it happen.
Rossum, who's already had a good night, takes this one from the 5. Across the 20 to about the 29-yard line. Carolina has not won in this building. John Fox says, well, at least we're undefeated on Saturday night. This is the first time they played on Saturday night.
Well, for Carolina, forget about what they did in the first quarter. They got 5 yards. Keep doing what you did in the second quarter, and they're just going to be fine.
And that was throwing the ball to Moreeeee Muhammad. I think the Atlanta Falcons have got to take Allen Rossum away from him. 5'8" against 6'3", not getting it done. They've got to jam him at the line of scrimmage and give him a problem getting off the ball.
Vick only 2 out of 9 throwing in the first half. Carolina's done a nice job against them, and they'll go back to Warwick Dunn up the middle, knocked down by Will Witherspoon. Let's check in with Susie.
Well, Michael Vick, as you said, that career low in passing in the first half and just 17 yards rushing. John Fox warned, though, he's a scary guy. You can never be too careful about that. As for his own quarterback, Jake Delhomme, who's been on fire, he said it was a matter of just getting the protections right. Once they got that squared away, then he was off and running. He's so good at staying calm and cool and poised. The most surprising thing he said, though, the only reason this is a game is because of an early turnover and giving the Falcons a short field. He feels his team is dominating.
Down across the 35 to the 36. And Susie, this is what is always going to be the argument against Michael Vick, because his numbers are skewed because he runs so much. When you are only 2 out of 9 in the first half and you are the quarterback, people are going to say he should be playing another position because he's such a great athlete.
Well, I think you can't take away his athletic ability. The bottom line is winning. How do you win with your quarterback? Peyton Manning is 10-3. He's thrown 46 touchdown passes. Michael Vick has over 800 yards rushing. He's 10-3.
Short set, he'll go to Finneran. And Finneran takes it up to the 44.
Michael Vick certainly is a human highlight reel. You see him go back in the pocket and just getting absolutely crunched. These are the things that he's been working on, staying in the pocket. But if things like this continue to happen, he's going to be a lot better as he tries to get outside the pocket. I believe that Greg Knapp is still learning, the offensive coordinator of the Falcons, what he wants to do with this young man. His upside as a quarterback throwing the football is huge.
1st and 10.
Movement.
False start offense, number 76. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Kevin Schaefer, the left tackle. Of course, it is the same argument we have had with other guys who came into this league as outstanding athletes, wanted to play quarterback. When you had Cordell Stewart come into Pittsburgh as Slash, he was a great runner, great pass receiver, wanted to be a quarterback.
No, I don't think there's any comparison between Michael Vick and Cordell Stewart. Michael Vick throws the football better than Cordell Stewart could, and the other part is Michael Vick runs better than anybody in football.
Loose ball. Have not heard a whistle yet. There are flags down. There was movement on both sides of the ball.
I think it's going to go against Carolina. They'll get those 5 yards back. So the last two plays didn't really happen.
Offside defense, number 93. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Michael Rucker, the right defensive end, and John Fox's defense playing without Chris Jenkins, who some would argue is the best interior lineman in all of the NFL. He was just one of a dozen guys hurt early, went on injured reserve, and here's Weatherspoon being tended to on the sideline. That just looks equipment related. Vick quickly out to Price, and Price can't turn the corner. He's taken down by Ricky Manning Jr.
You know, you just can't say enough about what Carolina has done defensively. I mean, these guys, they put a lot of people together. They got some people. When they got Dan Morgan, number 55, the middle linebacker, back, that really helps solidify this defense. But boy, they have moved different guys in and out of not only the defense but the offense, and they're still winning football games. It really and truly is a credit to the coach.
How about Mark Fields? He overcomes cancer to come back in the lineup. He had Hodgkin's disease. Vick has that one tipped at the line of scrimmage and still caught. Tremendous effort by Des White to get his hands under the ball and make that grab.
That really was an unbelievable catch. I mean, this one just gets batted up in the air. Des White staying with the route, comes back to make the reception, and now he's down. Good pressure. Blitz up front. The big arms go up.
We'll check on the injury when we come back to Atlanta. It's a 10-10 tie.
Hello there. Because of a coin-throwing incident, Roma were forced by UEFA to play 2 Champions League games behind closed doors. I would urge UEFA to look for a different solution if this happens in the future. Playing in an empty stadium does nothing for anyone, least of all the game of football. In trying to get rid of one of the bad apples, Roma were forced to throw out the whole barrel, including the good ones. And this meant that loyal Roma fans had to pay the price. It was also a form of punishment to the Real Madrid players, who had to play the most important game of their season under less than ideal conditions. Real Madrid fans also suffered, and I feel football in general lost out. Football is all about the fans and their passion for their team and the game. Without fans, it becomes a farce. UEFA have to have seen the effect on this game. Surely there must be a better way. What would you like to see done? Let me know. That's what's in the Onion Bag this week, and I'm Tommy Smith with a Y.
It's provided by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
This ESPN NFL special brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 39. Miller, there's good enough and there's better than it has to be. Miller, good call. Nike and K Jewelers. Every kiss begins with K.
Atlanta, the final resting place of slain civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr. Beautiful memorial to him and his cause.
This is, in this kind of a situation, is where you miss a T.J. Duckett. You miss that 255-pounder. Now, you basically have Warwick done at 180 pounds, but then again, you do have Michael Vick under center.
Des White able to get off the field under his own steam. Vick, quarterback keeper, and will have the first down near the Carolina 45-yard line.
You know, to me, that was really a scary situation for the defense. You know why? Because you got about maybe 2 or 3 inches to go, and you got Michael Vick back there that can run past you anything he wants to do. But he ran a quarterback sneak. But I mean, in that position, that's tough.
See, I think this is a perfect down to take a shot. Play action pass, put the ball down the fields to Michael Jenkins, their #1 pick, or Peerless Price. Give him a chance to make a play.
Done. They were very successful running the ball early, then got away from it. Went to some more exotic formations.
I've been very impressed with the way Warrick Dunn stays on the hold. He's not a big guy. The natural tendency for someone who's as quick as he is would be to cut back and try and look for the holes and dance a little bit. He does an excellent job of reading his blocks, staying at the point of attack, and moving forward, something Alex Gibbs, which I believe was the best acquisition the Atlanta Falcons made in the offseason, insists on.
And he loves the kind of offensive line he has got here, more athletic than powerful. And they're able to run the same kind of things that they did for so long in Denver. And for some reason, Julius Peppers has gone to the sideline for Carolina. We'll try to get a report on him. But Gibbs has a son who lives in this area, and it seemed to be the perfect fit because he was only a part-timer now with the Denver Broncos. He had a chance to come back full-time. It just seemed to fit for him.
And Chris Mortensen, our own Chris Mortensen at ESPN, really alerted the Falcons to the fact that Alex Gibbs might be interested in coaching again. Turned out pretty good for the Falcons.
Dunn again, can't get outside this time. They've done that a few times. Brenson Buckner got penetration to make that tackle.
You watch the Atlanta Falcons hand the ball off, hand the ball off, hand the ball. The anticipation of when Michael Vick is going to get the ball in his hands continues to grow and build.
But one of the things the defense will not do now, because they got burned a couple times earlier in the game, is they got the outside guys are going to stay on the outside.
Well, this team leads the NFL in rushing. They're 30th in passing, though. Vick again straight down the middle, and overthrown, intended for his big tight end Algie Crumpler, who has had a huge year. He was covered by Colin Branch.
Algie Crumpler just looked at that ball going by. It was high and fast. Watch Algie Crumpler look back at this ball. Look at this. What was that?
Well, it was where nobody could catch it.
See, I almost hit the goalpost.
See, Mike Vick at you know, just right around 6 feet tall, to confine him to a pocket to try and throw down the middle of the field is asking an awful lot.
Des White, we are told, an injured ankle. His return is questionable. Vick rifles this one complete. Finally found somebody open, and Jenkins, the rookie out of Ohio State, gains 22. There's a flag down in the secondary.
Once he masters working out of the gun.
Unsportsmanlike conduct for taunting on the offense, number 12.
Now this is dumb, and I mean dumb. You just got a first down. It'll still be a first down because the penalty is after the play. But there's taunting by Michael Jenkins after you make the catch. Here's the catch. All right, you finally caught one. This is your first one. Now what are you doing? Are you going to throw the ball at him? Yeah, El Dumbo.
See, I don't think he threw the ball at him, to be perfectly honest with you. I just think he spun the ball and signaled first down. It just so happens that a Carolina Panther guy is laying on the ground. I just don't agree with it. I think the officials are so sensitive to this taunting situation that it was a bad call. I don't agree with it.
Certainly the argument that Jim Mora is making.
Well, the ball hits the guy on the ground.
After it bounces, though, he bounces it on the ground. He doesn't throw it at him, Paul.
Dunn cuts outside past Mitter down the sideline.
Really
nice run by Warrick Dunn.
Doesn't matter. Julius Peppers is on the sideline, so what they're doing is they're running to that side, to the right-hand side, the left of the defense. And look at this, they just get to the outside. I don't understand what Mike Minter was thinking about. He's got to stay outside. And here comes Julius Peppers. If he's coming back in the ball game, he looked like he might have hurt his wrist.
Has a hand injury that now Warrick Dunn over 100 yards, his third 100-yard game this year. There he goes again. Dunn inside the 10 to the 7.
Warrick Dunn simply told the coaches, you give me the ball 25 times, I'm going to get you 100 yards.
He's already had it 18.
And he's doing real well. We're only midway through the third quarter.
He's over 100 already. But Julius Peppers is back in the ball game.
How effective will he be with a bad hand, though?
The way he plays, doesn't matter.
He'll use the other one. Done. Nice cut. Touchdown. It seems that this blocking scheme for the offensive line is almost perfect for a guy like Warrick Dunn. You move along, one cut, goodbye.
He has great vision, such a veteran. He scored 6 touchdowns in the first 5 games and has only had 2 since then.
Feely for the point after. And Atlanta goes back on top, 17-10 at home.
ESPN Sport Legends presents John McEnroe.
McEnroe is a New Yorker. He's a New Yorker in his crassness and his rudeness and his savvy, how cagey he is, how smart he is, how street smart.
A lot of what people have viewed as sort of classic McEnroe is classic New Yorker. You walk around the city in such a defensive crouch most of the time, you know. You have to protect yourself physically, you have to protect yourself emotionally.
Your skin gets thicker, which in a way is sad because you're sort of cynical of this whole thing. It was a sense of confusion about that, but it also seemed sort of exciting.
People like that he's so candid, I think.
Is that too goddamn far away from you to see? 4 feet too far to see?
There's an old saying, you can always tell a New Yorker, but you can't tell him much.
The NFL on ESPN. 2 games each and every week. Oh, that hurts. These guys are tough. Yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, my. Oh. The NFL on ESPN.
Falcons ate up 8 minutes and 12 seconds off the third quarter clock, going 71 yards in 14 plays. Warrick Dunn capped it with a 6-yard touchdown run.
See, that's what you call time of possession when you put 7 points on the board. That's when it's meaningful.
And that also helps you. How do you slow down that Carolina offense that we saw in the second quarter? Let them sit on the bench a while and watch.
The last 2 drives have taken over 17 minutes. Broussard, that one hit him, or Checkett, not Broussard, but Bennett. That ball hit him right in the crown of the helmet. He was able to recover and get a couple of yards. They just keep coming back. Now they'll have to do it again, down 7.
Golfers from the PGA, Champions Tour, and LPGA showcased their skills and talent this week for charity during the Wendy Street Tour Challenge. Final round tonight on ESPN.
Hello there. Because of a coin-throwing incident, Roma were forced by UEFA to play 2 Champions League games behind closed doors. I would urge UEFA to look for a different solution if this happens in the future. Playing in an empty stadium does nothing for anyone, least of all the game of football. In trying to get rid of one of the bad apples, Roma were forced to throw out the whole barrel, including the good ones. And this meant that loyal Roma fans had to pay the price. It was also a form of punishment to the Real Madrid players who had to play the most important game of their season under less than ideal conditions. Real Madrid fans also suffered, and I feel football in general lost out. Football is all about the fans and their passion for their team and the game. Without fans, it becomes a farce. UEFA have to have seen the effect on this game. Surely there must be a better way. What would you like to see done? Let me know. That's what's in the Al Onion bag this week, and I'm Tommy Smith with a Y.
Simply the finest football on the planet. The top clubs. The elite players. in a quest for the ultimate prize of European football. The UEFA Champions League on ESPN.
Back in Atlanta at a sold-out Georgia Dome where the Falcons are up by a touchdown. The Panthers will start from their own 23. Goings gets about 4.
Jake Delhomme has really done an excellent job of moving the football around. Although it's under 15 yards, you see 5 for 5, 3 for 3 down the middle, 5 for 7 out to the left, taking a couple shots to keep this defense on it. 14 for 18, only 140 yards. That's a good job by the Falcon defense, not giving up the big plays, not creating an opportunity so the Carolina Panthers can get a cheap one.
Delhomme flushed and taken down. Great hustle by Rod Coleman. He just kept coming. The big lineman that they got from the Oakland Raiders.
Just take a look at this, Pitt, though. Watch these guys converge from the outside in. Now, see the 2 guys in the middle? They stay in the middle. So when Jake Delhomme finally steps up into the middle, there's no place to go. 4 guys doing what they're supposed to do. 2 on the outside, forcing it in to the 2 on the inside.
Chad Lovellay also got a piece of the tackle, the rookie from LSU. 3rd and long for Delhomme. Blitz coming. Delhomme, Muhammad nearly made the catch, but did not. And Hall, even though I don't think he saw the ball, had perfect position to knock it away.
That's what you get when you read the receiver's eyes.
Actually, it was Allen Rossum.
And when you watch the receiver's eyes and look at Rossum, he sees it now, he goes up and he just puts his hand right up in between Muhammad's arms. There's no way to catch the ball.
Now he goes back and returns a punt.
Wow.
Sauerbrunn can just kill it. Drives Rossum all the way back to the 17. Got a block. Got another block. Rossum all the way across midfield. A 34-yard return. Brian Allen saved the touchdown. 17-10 Atlanta in a great position to start a drive when we come back.
My mind's a mess and my heart's in a party mood.